How exciting is this? Okay, I think I don't have to do anything else. The countdown just ran. I don't know. I haven't been here in so long, obviously. Um, I just hope I'm doing it right. I sometimes pop onto my StreamYard like in a backstage way with someone I've sent a link to and we chat for a little bit, but I haven't, pushed live in a long time. So I think we're good. I see people. Please let me know if you see and hear me or if this is one of those special days where um where nothing's happening. Our sweet Sandra is here. Hello. Thank you for hanging out with us. Red Wing is here. Hello. My dancing friend. Lovely surprise for a Sunday afternoon. I'm glad to hear that. Maria's here. Hello. Yay, and Simon's here to the creator of this. I'm going to come to the bottom and make sure I'm heard. Okay, it looks like no problems. So TarotTubers A to Z was a thing in, I think, 2020. I don't really know. It was a whole thing. I was like crying and everything. So I'm going to try to, not get into any of those things, but I guess that's just real. And this is about people and I overshare and cry a lot. So welcome to Blue Crescent Tarot. But no, I think I don't have answers written down or anything, but I think I know what most of them are. I've been binging this tag. Of course, watched Simon's. I saw Chris Elemental Cartomancy. I watched Sandra's Spirit of Avalon. I've seen Brian at Blushing Nerd Tarot do this. I saw Robin at Toadstool Tarot do this. It's just so cool to like watch everyone's responses and listen, even if I know someone like like Robin has like shared some of those things, bits and pieces before, like I know, but it's just so nice to hear him talk about it. I can't really explain it. I feel like I even learned new things like in with Chris's response and things like that. And we chat all the time. So it's just interesting how just one specific little question will like bring out so much. So that's my ramble about this tag and it's awesome. And I'm here for the people connections. And so I love tags like this. That's my long thank you to Simon. How do you like that? Yes, 3 years. So the other part of this is it's my 3-year channel anniversary. So May 10th, 2020 was Mother's Day that year. And that is the day that I started my channel. I'd been thinking about starting a channel prior to lockdown and it was going to be Cards in the Car. Like my channel name would have been Blue Crescent Tarot, but I was going to start taking my lunch out in the parking lot at work and hop on and do VRs basically. So then lockdown happened and it got like pushed. And I thought, well, why don't I still do that? Now I'm at home and I can sit in my little treasure trove and do it here. So yeah, it was my little gift, from Ryan, the gift of time. At that time, Max was, 2 years old. It's crazy. 2 in a few months. And yeah, it's just crazy. And now Ryan's upstairs with both kids in the playroom having a great time. It's just crazy. 3 years. What? Yes, me and Sandra were chatting the other day about just tarot friends. And I've said it before in chats and here on my live that I just really, like if I just take out all of TarotTube people, all of those connections, all of those relationships and everything, it's just hard to think about. Like what, I would still be, I started listening and watching people on TarotTube when I was driving a 90-minute commute one way. And I did that every day, 4 or 5 of the 7 days at least, usually 5. And so I started, I'm such a music person. It was weird to me, but just for those long hauls, for some reason, I'm like, I just want to hear someone talk about tarot. And I don't know what the pull was because prior to that, I could not stand listening to like talk radio or anything like that. I just could not. And all of a sudden, that's what I wanted. And so I think it was just very serendipitous. And I've said it many times before, but have to say it again. And thank you to, would have been like Simon, Kelly Fitz, Sandra, and Becca, because Simon was always talking about Sandra and Becca. And so then I found them. And what was the girl's name? Imogen Walters. She was one of the first people I found. And so I would listen to those people on my long drives. And that's how I got into all this. So anyway, was chatting with Sandra again, repetitive. I've said this many times, but it's just so nice to have all of you. And yeah, crazy to think about. Our Gerald is here. Hello, happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day to those of you in the States here. Citadel. I like the look of those six. Oh, in the thumbnail, it's yes, it is. It is. It's if that's what it's called. The one that comes with it's the one that came with seed and sickle, like as the little bonus thing. And I bought that whole big tin used from someone secondhand. So if that's what it's called in its previous life, you know what I mean? Because there's a new one now that's like the longer cards. But yeah, it's the seed and sickle bonus thing. And that picture, those were spreads I was doing for my clients last, like late summer, I think. And I was doing like a lyric page and I mailed them. I didn't mail them the cards. Sometimes I do mail cards, but only for decks that I have like duplicates of, which I thought wasn't many, but I have a little stack of duplicates that I use for like the Alleyman's trade group. And so anyway, sometimes I send out physical cards to my clients, but those lyric pages, I just had them situated on a page. And then what you're seeing on the thumbnail is my own reading that I did. So I did that, the Citadel and Benabel's SKT, and then my grandma's playing cards, the minis. So anyway, I do weird stuff and then I put it out on my group and I'm like, hey, does anyone want one of these readings? So that's the picture you're seeing. Good 7 a.m. to you all. Jamie is here. Hello, sip, sip. I have not had a sip of my coffee. Let's do that together. It's a half calf with caramel almond milk creamer. Delicious. Okay. The Enigma. What? Enigma. Oh, my Daniel Martin Diaz in my banner. Was it in like the corner or something? Who knows? I mean, my table looks crazy. I love that deck, even though it took me a minute to think what you're talking about. Oh, just the Daniel Martin Diaz is amazing. I do not have his newest tarot, and I can't even think what it's called, which is terrible, but Simon has on his channel and he gushes about it because it's amazing. Like, I mean, this dude's high quality, really smart, really, it's just great. Jackie's here saying happy channelversary. Thank you so much for being here. Jackie was the first person ever to comment during my live stream. And I was like, whoa, someone's here. It's so cool. Fun facts. Donna's here. Hello. Thank you for all of the love. Happy Mother's Day. Simon's remembering something. I don't know. I've been babbling a lot now. About me listening too early on, maybe. Scott is here. Hello. Happy Sunday to you. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, Lady K. Did I miss someone? Warrior Girl. Hello. Thank you for hanging out. Lady K. Hold on. I don't want to miss people. So I'm going to jump in here, I swear. But I did want to just have a little walk down memory lane. Iridescent Sea, hello. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the Mother's Day wishes. Yay. So exciting. It really is. Oh, Lady Night. I was thinking of a different, okay, so I didn't miss anyone. I don't know how to say it. Kefra? There's someone that I don't think she's ever been here before, but I see now. That Lady K. Yeah, Sandra, I think you would really like it. It's very, it's like the poet is one of the cards, and that's what comes to mind when I, like, that deck is very poetic, and like the artwork feels, it feels very literary, you know what I mean? Because it is breaking down those archetypes, like capital L literature archetypes. So it feels very like booky like that. And it's just beautiful. Yes. Oh, and I was so happy to get the tin. And I actually bought it from someone who lives down south somewhere now. But she used to live in Brighton, which is the next town over. I'm in Howell. That's fine to say, right? Overshare, but whatever. She's like, oh, I used to live in Brighton. It was so weird. She lives like states away now. But anyway, oh, jump. Okay. Here, I'll use the little arrow, the main banner for your channel. Oh, yes, the banner. I know what that is now. Okay. That is a picture, I think, from How I Use Oracle. Hashtag, do you remember when people used to do that? Hashtag How I Use Oracle that Chris at Elemental Cartomancy started. It is not too late to jump on that bandwagon, people. I want to see more of those. And if you want to check mine out, I do use that Enigma deck in that like demo video or whatever you want to talk about it. Donna, caramel or caramel? Everyone weigh in on your preference. Jackie says caramel. Is it because British people are fancy? This is why. Yeah, see, proper. Gerald is lurking on his phone, cannot tag, that's okay. Oh, I remember that was you crying in the first. Thank you. I didn't even know what I was going to say for that. So I think I had some answers written down for that one because I had like prepped it before. And then when I finally got to it, I remember saying in the beginning, I'm like, I'm a year older actually than when I wrote these notes. And so some of the answers I've thought about and I know, and it was D for dream. And I was talking about family and miscarriage and blah, blah, blah. And it just went to this place where I didn't know it was going to go. So like, that's what happens. It's fine. But Orashi is here. Hello. Orashi, I need to glide you. I need to glide like 50 people, not 50. I only have like 5 glide friends, which is fine, but I'm like way behind with things. So thank you for the channel anniversary well wishes. Oh, and Donna's from New York, and she says it the proper way too. See, some of these things carried over at least to at least to the people in New York, and then the rest of us just become heathens after that. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. Okay. Clicky click. Yes, Sandra, we should do that. Or I don't have Glide on my phone anymore. This girl got sick of waiting for me, y'all. It's fine. I'll learn how to like do Facebook fanciness or something. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so let's get going because otherwise, what on earth? Okay, let me open up something with a list. Look how unprepared. Are you shocked? No, you're not. Let's go to if I type in the in YouTube, it brings up Simon. Like this is that's all. It's all it takes. So it would be Oh, more Conrad decks. The thing's coming up. I keep touching. Sorry, I have like a Holter monitor on right now. I'm fine. This is 39. And I keep thinking it's like my necklace, and so I go to play with it, but it's not. It's a thing. I don't know what it's called. Okay, here it is. Where is the list? Okay, here we go. So formal around here. Oh no, Donna, I know, I'm just kidding, but I just like to be silly like that. Okay, so I love language as well, and I love accents, and I like studying Old English in grad school. Yes, that's a thing I did. We talked about all like the roots of all language, and it's just, I just got chills. It's just amazing to me. And so when I like gush over people's accents, that's because it's like, it's reminding me that we're so very different and individual, but still all together, right? Do you know what I mean? It just reminds me of like, it's just ancient roots, and I love that. Okay, here we go. There will be plenty of times for me to babble as we go along here. I'm just gonna shuffle this deck. No, I'm gonna shuffle a different one because, okay, Zane will help me. Then my speech won't be so manic if I do this. Winter Bliss, what a beautiful name. Hello, thank you for hanging out with us. Okay, is this gonna be too slippy for me? Okay, I'll do this. I'm gonna shuffle. Let's give a shout out. I might at some point start doing readings on a more regular basis. I currently don't, unless it's like some special event and it's a collaboration and I do readings. But today, especially, not any readings. We are just hanging out to answer a VR and get to know me more. How exciting is that? Natalie's here. Hello. Okay, so what I'm going to shuffle while my fidget deck is going to be the Zany Tarot by our very own Tarot Toke and Witchery. And you can get this on Make Playing Cards, and it's a lovely deck. And if you would like to see it in action, you can go to my video a couple weekends ago with Ginger Faye. And we did readings, and I used this and my Sarah Kathleen Everybody's Tarot. Let's take a sip because Michigan allergies. Okay. Oh, that's good. So good. Okay. Hi, my name's Deanne. Welcome to Blue Crescent Tarot. Thank you for being here for the past 3 years, or even just today. I'm so happy to have you. And the first question, or the first prompt here, is A for author. I am an English major twice over. My undergrad and graduate school degrees were both English Lit, which I jokingly tell people is like a glorified book club. And we pull apart and dive into lit books and lit books. That sounds like the text that teaches you to interpret the literature. But anyway, I haven't really read many books like in the past decade. Like I've read some spiritual books, but I haven't gotten into like my stuff really because babies and just things. But prior to that, the amount that I had read it's just a lot. And so it's hard to pick a favorite. Everyone says this, right? But what really came to mind is Toni Morrison, because I've read a few of her works and the talent it's mind-blowing to me. My favorite is Beloved. And if you have not read that, it's very heavy. It's a mix of a few things, but it's got that gothic lit element. It is very detailed telling of slavery in the United States. And it's like mixed with a ghost story, and the methods that she uses, the different tenses that she uses in order to portray different things happening, different realms working in the same physical realm, like spirit side coming in, the way that she uses past tense or third person voice or all these things, it's mixed together. How could you even do that? How could someone do that? Because it's just mind blowing and it's amazing. And the content is incredible and moving, and it just gets to my core. So that's what came to mind is Beloved by Toni Morrison. So I'm going to say Toni Morrison is my favorite author. She's incredible. Okay. A master of her craft. B, biggest regret. Simon, getting right in there. My biggest regret. Now I'm one of these people that's like, I don't regret anything because it got me to where I am. I'm not making fun. I'm in that camp. But I also believe that we have these things that are going to happen, most likely, and we may get there different ways, and we can make changes, and we can move into unconditional love for ourselves and others more to make some of those things disappear. And I do believe that even if the thing stays, we can make different choices to get there, and that sometimes we can avoid the lesser bad things if we make different choices. Do you get what I'm saying? There's like different sizes of like boulders along the way. Biggest regret, Simon? No, oh my gosh. Okay, someone said something the other day on a live, or and it like went in order like that, and if I just cut out that part, this is not a good story because I can't remember what it was. But anyway, no. Not my biggest regret. Oh, my biggest regret is finding Simon and getting into this TarotTube life. Are you kidding me? No, this is like a huge part of my life. And thank you, Simon, for being here. Oh, Sandra, that's okay. Thank you for letting me know. You're so sweet. Please don't choke, Simon. So I'm going to say there are a lot, but I mean, I think that's, as far as huge things, I think my biggest regret is staying in relationships longer than I should have when I knew full well it's not what I should have been doing. Because even aside from just the relationship aspect and just like dragging it out, even though you knew it was just not going to be, it wasn't going to turn around, because that staying in that caused all these other things to be infected or affected, right? There was too much time. In one of the situations, I'm thinking about two in particular. In one of them, there were pretty legit reasons why I waited. I needed a certain kind of help and the push to go. And then when I met that friend that helped me do that, I was like, oh, this is why. But the other one, I dragged it out, and sometimes you just need to stop trying because you know it's not going to happen and it's not you and whatever else. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of probably a general one, but looking back, I'm like, yeah, that time, you know what I mean? Where, I could have been making changes for the better and just getting back on my path. Yeah. Okay. C, car. What do you listen to the most? So my music my taste in music are varied about as much as my taste index, which means a lot. I have things from Mariah Carey to Typo Negative in my vehicle, like literal, like physical CDs. I listen to everything, but what I'm going to say, because Simon gave like a, like driving down a sun-splotched road listening to this kind of thing. So what came to mind is driving with the windows down, and listening to Peter Frampton. That's what came to mind, because like everything in the world could just go away and I just be like transported to a lake. And we'll talk about lakes later. But that makes me go to this happy place. It's just incredible. Peter Frampton, like, show me the way. Oh, that's my car song that comes to mind. Oh my gosh, Peter who? What? Are you kidding? Okay. Let me fix my whole life here. Oh, while I was talking about that, I remembered I watched Giselle at Mad Witch, her response to this, and M.A. the Gray. Oh, and so much of both of those were just amazing. Okay, yes, Peter Frampton. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't mean to music shame you. I don't. Peter Frampton. I'm grateful that I get to introduce you. Okay, but I remember that song at like all phases of my life. I remember being a little kid and like listening to my parents like watch that, listen, and it just reminds me of like everything good in life. Thank you, Gerald, so much for stopping in. I hope you have an awesome day. Okay. D, divination tool other than tarot. So I am going to say charms. I have lots of other things that I use. But what I'm going to say is, well, first I throw cards. That's what I do. That's another type of divination you can do with tarot cards. You just throw them. Oh, Lady Silver, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm going to say charms because that's the next thing. Like, that's what I thought of, like running my hand through charms in a charm bag. And do I have some over here, or these are tokens? These are journey tokens, I think. Okay. Why can't I open this? What's going on? Oh, and it even has one on the string. So these are not charms, but they're kind of, I mean, little things like this. It's sort of, oh my gosh, really? Sandra too? You know what? I'm so happy. I'm so happy. If you don't love him, it's okay. But I'm so happy that I get to introduce you to him. He's magic. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy. So I love this. So these are journey tokens. This is my response. Some little clinky thing, right, that I can cast or draw out. These are hexagons, just like her journey oracle. Oh my gosh. I don't know right where my charms are. I think they're on the other side. I don't know. I have not used them in a while. So that's why I don't know where they are. They're probably in this little section over here of things. Okay. Next question is, eat. What would you eat as your last meal? Okay. Poor sweet MA. She was taken to this really dark place with this question. And it's not, I mean, that's fair. She's like, I can't help but think like I would be incarcerated if I had to choose my last meal. You know what I mean? And this is valid. So but I just wanted to hug her and be like, oh, no, it's just about favorite food. Like if I was just in my bed and the end was coming and I graciously knew that that was going to happen and someone was just going to bring me my last meal and then I would peacefully just slip away. Oh, I would have Thai. It's like it's called Rama noodles, not ramen, but Rama. With it's got like Thai peanut sauce with chicken and vegetables. I don't even really need the chicken. I could just have like veggie Rama with Thai peanut sauce and an apple avocado salad. And they come from the same place. It's called Thai Princess in Okemos, Michigan. And that would be my last meal. I love most food and I have tons of favorites, but that would be it. And you eat the salad. I eat the salad as dessert and it's okay. Oh, Ellie's here. Hello. Thank you for hanging out with us. Okay, that's my last meal. And like a sweet tea, like a Southern sweet tea, just full of sugar. Oh, Thai peanut sauce is amazing. Yeah, so good. Thai food is divine. Yeah, it just feels so, it's just like the perfect everything. Okay. F for fears. Do you have any? What are they? Irrational, rational. MA said that's all the same to me, which I thought was very deep. Because sometimes you think a fear is irrational. I'm not trying to scare anyone. Sometimes you don't even think about fearing something. And maybe this isn't quite the same as irrational, but maybe it is. Like you think you don't even fear it because it's not even in your scope of like reality of what could happen. And then it happens. So that was one of my lessons from 2022. Just putting that out there. And again, not to scare you. It's just time to meditate. It's time to level up and listen to your intuition. It's time to relax. And it's time to put lots of good out. It's time to put a protection spell around your home. It's time to thrive and be happy and joyful. That's what it's time to do. Okay? Okay. So my fears. Michaela. Hello, Liz. Thank you for hanging out with us. Oh, do you feel like we do? Okay. So if you get into like a really juicy live version of that song, man. Okay. My fears. So on a more basic level, I'm going to bring it back now. I am incredibly afraid of tornadoes. It's not super likely where I live precisely that it would be an issue, but it of course is possible. And in the recent past, it has become more possible because of climate change. But I'm terrified of tornadoes. Okay. Then what? So that's rational, I guess. Because like, what if I'm somewhere else where there are tornadoes more often and whatever? Freaking. Okay. So I was thinking about this. I was thinking the other day, I went for a walk by myself. And when 2 summers ago, 2 years ago, 2021, when I was pregnant with Bela and I got like poison sumac on my arms from gardening out front. And I was talking to Sandra and she's like, we don't have poison ivy here. And I said, this bitch says we don't have poison ivy. And Robin was like, I can't believe you just called Sandra a bitch. But I mean, like he wasn't like mad or anything. But I was like, no, I'm sorry. Like, we just say that here, to friends, you know what I mean? Okay, so reason 701 that I'm, gonna jump the pond is because there's no tornadoes and no poison ivy. God, America's really going downhill, y'all. But anyway, we've had tornadoes and poison ivy. I saw a tornado in Salt Lake. It was scary. Yeah, that wide open out there. Ooh. Okay. Volcano eruptions scare the crap out of me. Yeah, it's nature's legit, y'all. Lori, hello. Thank you for hanging out with us. So my other fears, rational, irrational, I don't know. That's kind of both. I don't know. I'm really not afraid of a lot. Most people that I've seen do this response are talking about, future of us, uh, the world, the United States, all this. Like, I get it. I'm there with you. I really am. I'm not, because of things that have happened to me personally in the past couple of years. I don't think I'm in the space. Like, I can't even get into that fear too much, So I'm with you. I'm there. But I think my answer is just going to be tornadoes. No, sorry at all. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will chat with you soon. Currently searching for a place to settle, and I found that every place has its own version of extreme weather, right? And you just have to do what you can. And in Michigan, actually, like, we're in a pretty good space for just in general, like environmentally speaking, and like protection from those kinds of things. Like, we're pretty high up there, I guess. But anyway, that's that. That's my answer. G for game. Wow, 1040. Okay. My favorite game to play is probably, it's a card game. It's called Hand and Foot. Other people have called similar games like something different, and I don't ever remember, but sometimes I explain it to people and they're like, oh, it sounds like this. I've heard rumors, folklore, if you will, that it like originated here in Michigan, but I don't really know. But it's like when I get together with like my extended family, it's a game we play sitting around the table after like some kind of holiday gathering dinner and like play hand and foot. And I think it was Brian at Blushing Nerd Tarot that said, no, hold on. I've watched so many now, I can't remember. Someone was talking about card games and like when you don't have to think very much. I think it was Emma. Because she's like, not like poker, nothing that's like intense like that. And that's how I am. Like, we're just going to sit around and kind of sling cards. And that's one of the places, solitaire and hand and foot, which is like a bunch of people playing rather than solitaire. But those are the times when my family, and who I've talked about, like my Aunt Irene before, she's the one who first told me, pointed to like hearts on a playing card and said, those hearts actually mean love. That was my first thing into cartomancy. And so anyway, family card games that I think it was Emma that said, where conversations happen. You're just sitting around having a good time. It doesn't take a ton of brain power. We're just trying to collect a bunch of sevens or whatever it is and hang out. Okay. Oh, Jackie, yes. This is another one. And especially when I was a little kid, I remember this song, Baby, I Love Your Way. That's one of my favorite songs ever. Oh, it's so great. It's good 70s stuff. I feel like Simon will be into it. It's not as like upbeat and poppy, but I think it's enough. I think you'll like it. Okay. So game, hand and foot. Did I say that? That's the name of the card game, and it takes several decks of cards, and we have a family hand and foot box. It has all the decks needed to play the game. Okay. H, holiday, what's your favorite time of year? So I would say less than like a specific holiday. I would say the time from my birthday, which is September 24th, through to like Thanksgiving. Like that fall, back to school, shopping for school supplies goes into apple orchard, pumpkin patch in mid-October when the colors peak here, like around October 16th. Into Halloween. I love like nighttime things. I love kids running around the streets in the dark and like laughing and that kind of thing. And then you go into like leaves falling and like Thanksgiving, and like that's kind of like the end of that season for me before it goes into like Christmas season, which I extend really far. And Christmas is awesome. Okay, that's cool. But my favorite like holiday is going to be like September 24th time to like Thanksgiving. It's like a whole thing to me. Just going for walks in the fall, smelling all the decaying leaves is just amazing. Amazing. I think I was trying to like read up here as well. 70s, I mean, started in the 70s, right? My husband tried to teach me a Dutch card game and it just confounded and frustrated me. I prefer rummy. Right. Like it's, I don't really get into the more complex card games except for, tarot. 70s is like my favorite music of like all kinds. But anyway. Okay. Interest. An interest someone might not know about you. So I talk a lot, and I think probably most people know most of my interests. I am a modern and contemporary dancer. I grew up dancing. That's probably the there's cards and there's dance. That's probably my other thing. I don't really know of an interest aside from that. I talk about past life stuff a lot, so you all already know that. So probably just would stick with like dance and like teaching dance. Like that's my other thing, but I think everyone know. I don't know. That's probably it. I don't think I talk too much. I don't think there's anything you don't know. Okay. Jamie, I was the neighborhood DJ playing music from my window for us, playing in the streets in 1975. Amazing. Oh, Peter Frampton was one of my first concerts. That's amazing. Okay. Joy, something that brings you joy. So I think, something that continuously brings me joy, like the first thing I thought was like being pregnant, having like my giant baby belly. I just love. I loved growing babies. Wanted to have babies for so long, and I was joyful, like waddling around with a big baby belly. Something that continuously brings me joy. The easy answer is is my kids. They, and that's, I think joy is a good word to describe like the child parent relationship, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. It's challenging, but joy can be like a spark, right? It can be one little joyous moment, even in a difficult day when the floor is covered in toys and I'm trying to work and I'm trying to do this. And I'm pretty good about just staying in the flow and being like, well, this is what's happening right now. But then there's just that moment they do something so cute or so funny. My kids are funny. Like Vela straight slapped a string cheese out of my hand the other day, just like stared me dead in the face. Like, I do not want this. And I laughed so hard. And that was probably not what I should have done because, I don't want her slapping food out of people's hands. But her face, the disgust on her face that I would offer her a string cheese in that moment, how dare I? I laughed so hard I could not. So my kids' sassy little faces bring me joy. I wish it was like recorded. It was hilarious. Okay. Anyway, kids bring me joy. They're great. Kay, what would you sing on karaoke night? This might have been the most difficult question. um, I again, I was kind of in Camp MA with this one, and that I may not even participate because I would just bring down the mood so much with my song choice. So then I was really trying to think of something that wasn't just completely desolate and desperate feeling. But oh, my phone went off. Come back. I think if I sang like a low moody thing, it would probably be I Know by Fiona Apple. If it was like sad, moody bar night. But if it's not sad, moody bar night, I would probably oh, you know what? I'll say if the mood is a little bit, here's as bright as I can go. Criminal by Fiona Apple. Okay. It's a crowd pleaser. It was like a chart topper, and everyone would, know that and sing along, and they're still happy about it. And it wouldn't be completely just low feeling like I Know. So anyway, I Know is a beautiful song. You should check that out too. Well, why don't I just make you all a mixtape? I Know. Apple. Okay. It's a gorgeous song. Okay. What makes you laugh the most? Elle, what makes you laugh the most? I would say like my husband and my brothers. We have this sibling, like with my brothers, just stuff from the past, little comments they make. I just love being with them, and they're both very funny in their own way. Well, I have three brothers. I have two younger and one older. I don't see the my older stepbrother as much. Like I was my mom's first, and then two boys, and then she got remarried, and then I got an older stepbrother. So like I grew up with the two younger ones. Super love my older brother. Just don't hang out with him as much, but we're going to get together soon, actually. And they're all funny, and all four of us siblings have a great time together, and I laugh a ton with them. My close knit group of like girlfriends is really funny too. My best friend Julie, we've been like together so long. We have so many inside jokes, like just everything's funny. So we get to laughing a ton. And on a day-to-day basis, Ryan, my husband, we have almost like this our own language in our house. I don't know. We laugh about like goofy stuff. And I think I would say Ryan is my answer, like most readily, because I don't really I'm not very funny by myself, but when I get with like certain people, we like feed off each other. And Ryan, like credit to him, he has made me like my sense of humor grow into like goofiness in a way that it wasn't before. I don't know how to explain this. It's just very much our own little like weird, stupid, funny stuff. So there's my rambling answer for that. Movie, one you love and could watch over and over again. This was difficult because I love movies, like I love music, like I love decks, lots of variety, so many different things. I could do like categories of favorite movies, but I think I will take another page out of Emmy's book and do a double feature. She's so smart. So my double feature would be Gross Point Blank, which would be like, it's kind of like dark comedy, whatever. Gross Point Blank with John Cusack and Minnie Driver. Also has Joan Cusack as the secretary, and she's amazing, amazingly hilarious. So anyway, Gross Point Blank, I could recite that entire movie. It's like a kind of a cult classic that I watched with my cousins and their friends, and so it brings back all those memories, and we watched it like probably once a week. Oh my God. It's just amazing. I love that movie. Has a little bit of everything. Oh, Donna is a fan. I love Grosse Pointe Blank, she says. It's amazing. Carrots and celery are just the base of a soup. Okay. My other one, my more like the one that's more just me and speaks to a lot of things that are Deanne like is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's a masterpiece. I will say that. Charlie Kaufman. Shame on me. I should know that. I think it's Charlie Kaufman. That movie is layers of just really smart. It's just great. It's just great. Those are my answers. Grosse Pointe Blank and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Okay. Jane is here. Yay. Hello. Thank you for hanging out with us. Fifth Element for me, or the first Guardians movie. Good stuff. Oh, I saw a Warrior Girl say she was 5 at the first one and then she was a Woodstock belly baby. Okay, now what? And where in nature do you feel most connected? So this is another, I'm cheating. This is another 2-part thing. And Chris said, like walking around in a graveyard, just, so peaceful and, the reverence and everything like that, just quiet, like beautiful atmosphere. And that reminded me, one of the first things I thought was being in my grandma's backyard. And then there were like 5 yards that were all like open. There were no fences. And we would walk down, and at the end by the main road, there was it was like risen up, but like we could just walk up the hill in the back. There was a graveyard at the end of her road. And so me and all the other kids would walk along the backyards and like go up to the graveyard, and we weren't doing anything wrong. Like, I feel like now you might say that people are like, oh, kids are like messing stuff up. But we would just, walk around there. We were very respectful. We would kind of play these little like haunted, like, we were ghost hunting or something, but we were being very respectful. Do you know what I mean? We'd have notebooks and we'd sit out like in the little lilac bush in the front of my grandma's yard and watch the cars go by this little like curve on her road. And we'd like pretend we were writing down license plates, and we'd play like, we were private investigators. And then we'd go to the graveyard and we'd walk in the woods behind the houses. And then we'd go to the graveyard and like write down things that were on the headstones and things like that. So my grandma's backyard is also like a recurring thing in dreams for me. And even when I was little, I remember standing out there by the white, hard plastic swing in her backyard. There were 2 of them like on the swing set. And I was like, this is a portal. And I have no idea what I thought that meant. But I remember thinking that. I must have been like 6, like standing out in my grandma's backyard, like holding the chains of that white swing and like looking out into the woods. And I was like, this is a portal. What? Okay. So then I kept like, even now, like I dream about her house and especially about her backyard. Like I might dream about some of you and we'll be like meeting my grandma's backyard and then we'll like go somewhere in the dream. So that is like my spirit side. I feel like woo connection to nature. And then this physical realm connection to nature would be at Houghton Lake, where I spent time as a child, both with my mom and her second husband, and my dad and his longtime girlfriend that he had when he and my mom got divorced. Both of their new people had places at this lake in Michigan. Is that crazy? And so I got to spend time with different, with my mom's side and my dad's side, well, married side, and you know what I mean? So I got to know like 2 different sides of the lake, and I had all these favorite restaurants and favorite little shops up there. And it's like, that was the only like vacation spot that we had. Like we'd go visit family, or we'd go to Holton Lake, and I love Holton Lake. And I remember being a little kid, even sitting on the dock and seeing all the boats out and like the red light on one side and the green light on the other. And so then now as I got into high school, junior high, whenever I read Gatsby and like the whole thing about the light at the end, just this whole romantic thing, like you can see all the lights on the other side of the lake. The ocean's beautiful. I love listening to the ocean. I love walking the beach at night, but I'm again, kind of like MA. I feel like I keep saying this, but I don't really want to be like in the sun and the heat. I'll deal with it a little bit, but like the ocean at night, like I could walk that beach, but for all the time, I would love to just be at the lake, and you can see there's enough space to breathe and hear the water splashing, but I can see the other houses over there. I can imagine all the little people in their little houses. It's still a hug, but it's enough breathing room, right? That's the kind of water that I need, just a lake. Okay. That's where I feel most connected. And the music and the Peter Frampton out on the boat, like we'd go for night rides on the boat. Oh, this is just amazing. Okay. Good times. That story gives me chills. I had recurring dreams of my grandparents' house for many years. I think it may have been haunted. Yeah, see, there's just something about it. Okay. Moving on. Optimistic. What are your hopes for the future? I don't think I have any like big, grand things, like on a personal level. Again, a lot of people were talking about, the way of the world and hope for that. And yes, I'm there with you. But I think I'll answer more like on a personal level, hopes for the future, just thriving in all senses of the word, just general goodness. That's it. I don't have any like really lofty thing right now. So that's it. Thriving and goodness. Want to be simple with that one. Pip deck, your favorite. So because last time was Marseille, this time when Simon said pip deck, I was like, oh, I know what I'm going to show. Because I think these pips are so very unique. This is the Inspired Soul Tarot by Julie Rose at Peekaboo Rose. So I'm going to also show you the majors because they're the cutest. So like here's the Sun card. Okay. It brings in that childlike innocence and joy and happiness because it's crayons and a piece of notebook paper. Yes. How smart is this? And just a drawn crayon picture of the sun. Okay. But the pip aspect, so this is about our hobbies or like our passion jobs, if it has become a job, like dancing for me or when I was teaching, things like that. Or, I mean, technically I was paid as a professional in the modern company. So it's like, it's supposed to be, what inspires your soul. So like, that's what the different suits are. So we have wine glasses for the cups, paint brushes for the wands, right? Artistic visual art. We have buttons for pentacles. And then I'll show you like all of these things result, like the paintbrushes, the quartz result in paintings of the quartz. The pentacles result in outfits, like clothing, textiles. Yeah. And there are some little, like the 10 of buttons has the hearts in the middle, and the 9 has like this fancy one in there, right? So there are these nods to the luxuriating in your garden kind of thing, right? There's these little nods to that. So the page of buttons is this little dress. Isn't it so cute? How smart is this? So this is what came to mind for Pip. The High Priestess, I'm just showing you because how magical is that? This is what I think about a lot. Like this pops into my head quite a bit. Little snow globe. So the Queen of Queen of Wands then is also a picture, right? So we started with the paintbrushes and then we end with, you know, these paintings, and we have the black cat and the sunflower. Like, how perfect is that? It's like simple, meaningful. For the swords, we have the pens. Why don't I know what those are? So, fountain pen? I have a graduate degree. Are those fountain pens? I don't know. Okay. Queen of Cups, right? So perfect. Okay. And then the ace kind of gives you like what the picture, right? It kind of gives you what it's going to be. And then it breaks into the more simple pips. So yeah, did I show everything? I think I showed all the examples. Look at the Lovers card. Choice. Oh, it's great, isn't it? She's so smart. Okay. And the backs are gorgeous. And it's kind of this like sunsetty, you can't really probably tell. Like, it's really gorgeous. It's not a solid background color. Anyway, that's my choice for Pip Deck. You can find this on Make Playing Cards. Oh, Jane found her mom's pants. I did see that. Good job. The other day she was getting the cat. Today she's getting the pants. You're doing great, Jane. Let's have a sip. Sip, sip. Oh my gosh, I made it so good today. Happy Mother's Day to me. My kids were up all night, by the way, showing me that they really needed me. 11:15, no, 11:30, 12:30, 2:30, 6 a.m. What on earth? It's fine. It's fine. I'm here. I'm the mom. I got it. Q for quality time. What do you consider being quality time spent? Really, so many things. Family quality time, friends quality time, tarot room quality time. I really think I make most things into quality time. So this is really, I mean, it's hard to choose something, but I would just say I define that as any meaningful connection. That's that. You know what I mean? It's just categorical. Like my me time, like this, what I'm doing right now is quality time. Running around with my kids in the backyard is quality time. Just any of that kind of thing. R for reincarnation. If you could be reborn at any time period, when would that be and why? Okay, I'm sorry to mention MA like 50 million times, but she said everyone gave like a human response as though like that's what they assumed. And she said her first thought was to be a milkweed, and she would be a little seed pod and one little part of it, and it would blow away and it would grow into another milkweed, and then a butterfly would come feed on her. I think that's what she said. Okay, beautiful. I had kind of two first thoughts, but my first one was actually about being a bird, coming back like as a crow. And I visualized, again, talking about my grandma's backyard, she had this black pole that had like this little fancy thing on it near her garden. And she would tie like pie tins. I didn't get a lot of sleep. Because like the birds want the shiny like pie tin. And so they would hang out on the pole instead of like mess around in her garden, right? I think, and I just remember those tins like hanging on that pole all the time. And so my first thought when I was watching Simon's responses was that I would be a crow and I would come back to when like my grandma was gardening. And I was around when my grandma was gardening, but I thought if I could come back like before I came around as a human, and then I could have like more time with her, right? And I would be a crow. And so even though I'd be the thing she was trying to keep away, I would sit up on that black pole and I would just talk to her, and I would like bring her shiny gifts, and I could watch my grandma just working in the garden. And that was like her favorite thing. So that was my first thought, that I would be a crow and I would hang out in my grandma's backyard. Again, with the grandma's backyard. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. My other thought was come back so I could be like late teen in the 70s to catch like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and like that kind of thing. But I'm like, you know, I don't know. I had that thought. I had a thought that that it would be cool to come back just like for well, now how old are they? 4 years older than me. So there was a group of my cousin's friends that I was really close with, but some of the stuff I couldn't do that they were doing because they were 4 years older than me. And so just like that little shift, but there were a lot of strong connections in that group for me. And so I feel like that could have been really meaningful too. And I spent a lot of my teen times like, oh, I wish I was with them. You know, they included me in a lot, but they also protected me, and there were things that I couldn't do with them. So, so yeah, those were kind of my three thoughts. So cheating with this. Then the next thing, S, sacred. What is sacred to me? This space, this tarot room. This is my lots of things are sacred to me, but I'm so grateful for this room, even though currently I can't be in here a ton. It has all my little treasures, and it's just my little tarot nest of loveliness. T for tarot, my current favorite deck. So this is a difficult question for me because on a monthly basis, I use like 10 to 15 decks. I do a daily draw. I do cards for each week. Sometimes I'll do like the first 2 weeks, I'll use a deck, and then the second 2 weeks, I'll use a second weekly deck. I also layer. I will do like a 9 card for each week. Sometimes those are 3 different decks. Sometimes it's one deck and then like Lenormand on top. So I have like a lot in the monthly rotation. Even if I don't stick to it every day or every week, I have them all ready to go. So I at least use them a little bit, even if I don't do it all the time. So right now, what I'm going to say is, this is one that I've been using a lot lately, and I had it out from when I was doing readings a couple weeks ago with Ginger Faye. This is Everybody's Tarot by Sarah Kathleen, and she currently has Everybody's Oracle out. There's also a Creatures Tarot that she put out recently. So I rainbow edged this. I got a bunch of dark ones all together, but you get the idea. It's a fun, bright, this also includes the bonus cards, like Oracle, like mixed in with it. Forgiveness, isn't that a nice one? So some little birds, some little creatures. It's RWS based, by and large. Oh, boundaries bubble. 9 of Wands, the Empress. Look how cute the Empress is. So yeah, this is my, there's a home card in there. Again, one of the extras. Thanks, Simon says, nice edging. It was fun to do this one. The Hermit. Look how cute. I love the candle and the pencil, right? The Hermit is going to go and teach the things, share the light after the fact. I just love this little Hermit. Okay. You get the idea. The wheel is really nice. We'll end on this one. Okay. That'll be my favorite for now. U for unforgettable moment. I have lots of these. I like the birth of my first child, like when I had Max, that was unforgettable. That was unforgettable. He was pretty easy. I mean, it was labor and delivery, but it was pretty easy. It was so empowering. It was incredible. It was just everything I could have wanted in a first go. So that was unforgettable. But I'm going to share a different thing. See what I did there? Slid it right in. When I, and it's kind of a three-part thing related. Okay, so when I was invited into a professional company where I was dancing, I had made actually like a dream board for it. Because I met with someone the first time I met with a card reader. She told me to make a dream board. And I was like, okay. But they, in this professional company, they only accepted people who had dance degrees. And I did not go to school for dance, not college, you know what I mean? But I made a dream board and I got invited into the company. What? I was teaching there. I was doing the school outreach program there. So that was a branch of the professional company, but I was trying to get into the performance. It's called Winter Concert Company then, to get into the performance company. Donna, no problem at all. I'm wrapping up here as eventually, but thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I got invited into the company. The director called me into the office one day and I thought she was going to go over something. Like I had taken over her spot in the educational, like in the outreach performance that we did at schools. She was pregnant at the time and she was put not on bed rest, but she couldn't like dance or walk upstairs or do anything to exert anything. So I got pulled into the educational part of it in her role. And she invited me into the office and she said, would you like to join Winter Concert Company? And I just looked at her. I said, absolutely yes. It was one of those times where you say yes and you figure out the details later. Wait, how will I be at rehearsals? Some of them happened earlier in the day when I'm at work, like all of this. I just said absolutely yes. That was incredible. I could not believe it. I was the first person ever in that performance company that was not dance degreed. And it was an incredible time in my life. Then the parts 2 and 3 that go with that was that year in particular, which doesn't happen often, they were going to redo in kind of short, like they had done it not too long ago. They were going to redo 2 pieces from the previous season. They were going to carry over 2 pieces. They carried over my 2 favorite pieces from the previous season. And for each of those 2 favorite pieces, they were called Wake. And I don't know what the social one was called. I can't remember. I was cast in the role, my favorite role in each of those favorite pieces. I had been there. I'd watched their performance the previous year. One of them was like a creepy person under the bed. It was like a kind of this very haunty kind of thing about people like sleepwalking. And then there was like a creature that came out from under the bed and it was all part of the choreography. And I was assigned as the thing under the bed. Oh my God, I could not believe it. And then there was like one that was like a social commentary kind of, again, modern. It was a little weird, but I love that. And there were like 6 different personalities and they were all trying to kind of date each other and like figure out who to date. That was the dance. And I got cast as my favorite girl in that piece. And I could not believe it. I could not believe I got in the company. I got to be the creature under the bed. And I got to be like the ditzy flirty girl on the end of the line in this other piece. It was crazy. That's my unforgettable collection of moments because I still to this day, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that happened. Okay. Just had a spider drop down, narrowly missed my coffee cup. Oh, yeah, good dance stuff. It was unforgettable. V for vacation, my favorite destination would be simple little Houghton Lake, Michigan, where I spent summers as a child. And that's it. I'd like to go lots of places. My big wish list is going to Scotland, which will absolutely happen someday. And when I do that, I will also be um, coming around to meet tarot friends that are over on that continent. But Scotland has always been like a heart spot for me. And now, of course, I know someone that lives there. So that's my wish list one, but like my current favorite destination, because I've never been to Scotland before, but my favorite destination per this list would be Holton Lake, just that lake scene that I was describing before. W for well-being. What do you do to keep it in check? I do lots of things. I go for a walk by myself. I sit in the tarot room. I meditate. I drink enough water. I've lately been incorporating more intentional healthy foods into what I'm eating. Um, it's a whole lot of things, but it's basically like that, a bit of well-roundedness. Brian from Blushing Nerd Tarot was talking about being aware of when you're about to get to that place where you're not well. And that was huge. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm in that space now, probably the last, 5-10 years, especially, knowing when you're reaching that point, having that awareness, which tarot comes into that in a huge way. Tarot music is a self-care thing for me. Music can instantly fix me. So yeah, tarot music, good food, lots of water, taking a walk, being aware of when I need to get those things into play. I'm 6 hours drive from Chris. Yes. Yes. You will definitely be like, we will be there. We will be there. Oh, it's going to be great. X-ray. Have you ever had one, ever broken a bone? I've had dental x-rays. I have never broken a bone. Fun fact. But I have had x-rays, and I've had like chest x-rays of my lungs when I had pneumonia. And I did have an x-ray of my foot. It wasn't broken, but my sesamoid bone popped down in between. Like, if this is like the ball of your foot, and then these are like the rest of the toes, you know what I mean? Like this, like your big toe part, and then the rest of them, there's a little round bone in there. And when I was dancing and I pushed my foot down to like raise up onto my toe, it pressed down, the little ball one pressed down. So it was even with these, and it's supposed to be tucked up. So a little minor dance injury. I just had to put a little thing in my shoe to like protect it. So it wasn't flat on the ground. I had to like raise up around it to protect my little sesamoid. It's just a tiny little thing. Anyway, and then it like receded back into its little cave, and it was fine. But I did get a really cool x-ray of my foot. Feet are weird. Why yourself? When can you feel totally comfortable in your own skin? I most of the time feel that way. Fortunately. But yeah, with family, with close friends, I generally feel that way. Z for zodiac, what star sign are you? Do you feel connection with it? So I'm a Libra sun, Aries moon, and a Leo rising, and I connect with all of those things. And I would also just like to say, for people who don't connect with your sun sign, there are a lot of other things in your chart. Plus, your environment plays a huge role, right? Think about Lenormand houses. How does the stork act in the house of the clover? How does, I'm going to say Sandra because she doesn't associate with Aries, which is her sun sign. How does Sandra act in the house of Aries? Well, she acts X and Y and Z because of these things. So it's like, you may not resonate with like the short list of keywords that relate to your zodiac, because there's lots of other things going around, because we are not just a star sign. We are beautifully complex people, and there's a lot going on. And star charts like a Lenormand grand tableau, and there's lots of little things to figure out in there. That's my PSA for zodiacs. Okay. That's that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and doing this live. Um, an hour and 20 is not too bad for a live, considering I rambled for 20 minutes at the beginning, but I mean, it's what we do. Sip, sip. Oh, Mel, no problem. We are just wrapping up, but I'm so happy that you stopped in to say hello. Simon, thank you so much for being here and spending this time. I know it's a long it's a long haul with me. Thank you for being here. It means so much. Red Wing, you are so welcome. Mel, definitely, and I hope to catch you again soon, Mel, at a one of your nighttime lives. Vela's sleep schedule has just been a little off the wall lately, so I haven't been able to be there. But oh, and right at the end. I accept angels. Thank you. Thanks, friend. Okay. Thank you all for being here so much. Have a beautiful day. I hope to see you again soon. Maybe in the next couple weekends, I'll be able to pop on again. There are other VRs I want to do. There are other things I want to catch up with you about, but I will release you into your mother's. Oh, my tattoo shows. Speaking of Chris, I made him write it. It says anacrusis. I don't know how much you can see on the screen, but I will, arm tattoos are weird anyway. It says anacrusis, which is a musical term, but I also use it to describe kind of my belief about how everything is connected. Yeah, that's that. And how our lifetimes are connected one to the other and all of this. It's a big, beautiful philosophical thing. And it's Chris's handwriting. So amazing, right? Oh, I love it. Okay. Happy Sunday. Thanks for being here. I hope to see you again soon.